everything we don't really know anything about is are these days represented by something small or tiny or indescribable that's moving about with a frequency. So frequency is frequently used for things that we cannot really comprehend. So just like the other expression we like to use instead of the proper one, I would suggest is the probability, when we don't really know if the electron in the cloud um, takes a single position for a tiny time and it moves elsewhere or jumps or probably moves, obviously, because there is no such thing as jumping, and we picture these orbitals as a collection of positions in space where the electron might or might not be in a certain time with different kinds of probabilities. So we love these probabilities as much as we kind of love the waves allegory of waves in case of electromagnetic waves and other things we might even think they are not actually waves. The light is not a collection of frequencies, wavelengths, because a wave is something that increases and decreases rapidly in an incredibly large speed that we can prove to be there. And those things currently are believed to be vibrating inside the light are, well, I would say kind of childish. Nothing vibrates around nothing, and one kind of nothing turns into another kind of nothing, while it has a frequency, of course, and no, they don't. And the same way that probability is a very rudimentary idea to start with, because these things are just simply spread out existence at the same time. I let it sink. The electron exists in every position simultaneously. There is no such kind of thing as probability, absolutely nothing. Probabilitism cannot be found in this subject at all, unless you really only have a huge hammer and you think that everything else, the hammer being the frequency and probability, and the nails that you're hitting with full force as no other option seems to be applicable. They are obviously the light and even anything that you currently think that it's just partly or sometimes there. It's constantly there with a certain percentage of being, because existence in our world, in the world that we can discover, in our discoverable universe, the final thing that we can face with are basically the things that don't fully exist in our discoverable universe anymore. They are partly existing here and that we can perceive this event fading, as if they were going out of focus increasingly in a huge universal bokeh effect, where the last thing that we can still see sharply is the atom. Anything smaller than that is out of focus. It starting to be disappear, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a blob, like a beautiful round blob in a blurred picture. This shape can turn into this shape and that shape, so this fluffy bubble which we can perceive is capable of forming orbitals, given the other little particle that doesn't even have a spatial value, like proton or any other particle that exists, either the positive or the uncharged particle, and they are probably very much related size wise, because they don't have size. And when these objects that do have positions are going further away from us, going more and more towards the small and the foggy, everything that happens after the full atom, which is the last sharp thing. So we can see sharp things other than that, so those things that we can see sharply. Electrons are not the ones, obviously, so protons and neutrons are turning into another way blurred. So another physical property is fading away as they go further away from us. They can have their charge, they can have their I don't know, all kinds of I wouldn't go into these details because I don't really know about them, but obviously you who are knowledgeable can imagine what is the other option when something is going out of our world and it has a percentage of existence or a kind of a level of existence which is not necessarily a one. So it's not the level of existence is it's not a fixed value, not binary. That's for sure. I can't tell what it is, obviously, but it is not a binary thing that it's something either exists or does not exist. And we already discovered, not exactly me, but some other people discovered that the empty space is bustling, or I don't know what it does, but particles appearing and disappearing, kind of binary way, but it's not the case at all. They are always there, just maybe they don't affect our universe at all, so we cannot prove either what I say or the opposite, what I believe it is the case. So what I say might be true, at least possibly.